Hello everybody, my name is Coglin3639. Welcome back to another video. Today, in this one, it's another card analysis video, and that card analysis, or well, more like deck analysis, is the new War Rock Archetype. So in this video, I'm going to show you what the effects of each monster that has been revealed, and then give my opinion on what the deck can do. So yeah, this was revealed by Team Samurai. I'll put his original video in the link description down below. This archetype will be coming out in Blazing Vortex and then gain more support in the later sets like Lightning Overdrive. So yeah, without further ado, let's just get straight into the effects. So let's get straight into the effects. I do have some custom cards here on Dueling Book to kind of just give you an idea of what the cards are. So without further ado, before I go into the effects, they are Earth Warriors, which is kind of surprising that they're not rocks, considering that they have rock in their archetype's name. But they are Earth Warriors, so that makes it kind of a rota target for. That's a good thing to do, but kind of really weird that it's not a rock type. But without further ado, the first card is War Rock Raktos. I'm terrible at pronouncing names. I do apologize for that. I'm probably going to butcher names later on. But Raktos. Its effect is if an Earth Warrior monster is normal summoned to your field, you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one level 5 or higher War Rock monster from your hand or deck, and you can only use this effect, or each effect, once per turn. Now, the fact that it has to be sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, not even by battle, which you later, when you go into more of the cards, you'll realize this is more of a battle-oriented deck. So it has to be sent by a card effect and not like something like battle. It's kind of weird, especially opponent card effect. So you can't even proc it yourself. It's kind of a little too balanced. Maybe if it's just sent from the field to graveyard, like maybe like a Link monster or something like that, it could be good. But again, it's just by the opponent's card effect doesn't really get that foot. Good card, but it does allow you to special summon this card from its hand when you normal summon an Earth monster. So it's a pretty good, that top effect is pretty good for the archetype. The next one is War Rock Forita. If its effect is if your Earth Warrior monster battles, after damage calculation, you can add one War Rock card from your deck to your hand, except this card. Then all War Rock monsters you can currently control gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. And if this card is sent from the monster zone to the graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can special summon one level 5 or higher War Rock monster from your hand or deck. So it has the same bottom effect as Raktos. The one if it gets sent by an opponent's card effect, you can add. But its top effect is kind of battle oriented. One of your Earth monsters have to battle, and then after the calculation, you get to add a War Rock card, not a monster, but a card from deck to hand. So it's pretty interesting. You can battle and stuff like that. Again, more of the battle-oriented stuff. I don't know if that's good in today's meta, because most likely the cards are going to get off the field anyways. So I don't know if that's really that good, but it is another level 4 to help you summon. Now into the level 5s, we got War Rock Orpus. Its effect is you control no monsters, or all monsters you control are warrior monsters. You can normal summon this card without tributing. If your Earth Warrior monster battles after damage calculation, you can send one Earth Warrior monster from your deck to the graveyard except this card. And then all, my bad, I kind of skipped. Where was I? Except this card, and then all War Rock monsters you currently control gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. You can only use this effect once per turn. So yeah, basically it's just it's the same thing with the battle calculation like Farida, where you can just send a rock monster instead. So I mean, just more battle oriented stuff. Again, I don't know if that's good in this meta. I don't think it is, but it is a good level 5 to pull out in the deck. The next level 5 is, or no, this is a level 6, my bad. So War Rock Skylar. This gains 100 attack for each monster your opponent controls, and it starts off at 22 as well. During your battle phase in which an Earth Warrior monster battles, quick effect, target one level 5 or lower Warrior monster in your graveyard, special summon it. Also, all Warrior Rock monsters gain 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. Also, for the rest of the turn, you cannot attack directly with level 5 or lower monsters. You can only use this effect of War Rock Skylar once per turn. Now, the again, it's another battle effect. During the battle phase, you can just summon a level 5 or lower warrior monster from your graveyard. But the fact that you can't attack with it the turn it's summoned to, it's kind of, or just in general, level 5s and lowers can't summon or attack that turn. Kind of sucks when your deck is focused around being a battle phase kind of deck. So you kind of want everything to attack. It's a good effect to special summon. If it ended there, it'd be amazing. But the effect, the negative of it, you have to make sure your level 4s don't attack is kind of trash. So I don't know. And then the boss monster for the deck is Warrock Bashilos. This is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. I could be wrong. Let me count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, it is an 8. So during your battle phase in which an Earth Warrior monster you battles, quick effect, you can activate this effect. This card attacks directly the turn, and all Warrior Rock monsters you currently control gains 200 attack until the end of your opponent's turn. While this card is in your hand or graveyard, when your Earth Warrior monsters destroyed by battle, you can special summon this card, but you must banish it when it leaves the field, and you can only use each effect once per turn. So basically, making this able to attack directly with a 27 body and then gaining 200 attack at least is pretty good, yes. But after that, it's nothing really there either. Again, it's more battle-oriented, and that's the whole deck in general. And right now, battle-oriented cards are just not good whatsoever. The reason why Mirror Force ain't getting played right now is because, again, most likely stuff like the battle cards are most likely going to get destroyed before it even hits the battle phase. So yeah, and then its bottom effect for itself to get special summon when an Earth Warrior monster has to be destroyed by battle is the problem. Again, if any of these cards said if any War Rock monster was sent to graveyard and that's it, maybe it would be pretty good. Like if Bathiola's effect was if an Earth Warrior monster is just sent to graveyard, special summon the card from your graveyard, maybe that's a fucking good effect. Same thing with Gractos. If this card is just sent to graveyard by any way, you can special summon a level 5 or lower, a higher rock monster from your hand or deck. That would be pretty powerful too, but they just made it too balanced, I would think. But I'll get into that more opinion-based later on because we got some spells and traps to cover. The first spell trap is actually, or spell is a field spell actually, is War Rock Mountain. When this card is activated, you can add one War Rock monster from your deck to your hand, so kind of a searcher for the deck, pretty good. And at the start of the battle phase, if you control no monsters or all monsters you control are warrior monsters, special summon one rock monster from your hand with a different name different name than the card you control. And then if a warrior monster would be destroyed by battle, you can send this card to the graveyard. Instead, you can only activate one War Rock Mountain per turn. Now, this is actually pretty good. It's a good searcher for your War Rock monsters. At the start of the battle phase, you can actually special summon more monsters onto the field as well. It's pretty good. It's actually a pretty good field spell. Again, the battle-oriented thing with the card kind of sucks, but actually I think in this case it might be better. If you're going to do a battle-based deck like the War Rocks are, War Rock Mountain is a pretty good field spell for that deck. And again, this is going to be fucking amazing for the War Rocks, but this is like the only good card out of a really underwhelming fucking archetype. And then the other spell is the War Rock Ordeal. It's a continuous spell. You can only control one War Rock Ordeal. When this card is activated, place 3 counters on it. When a War Rock monster destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you can remove 1 counter from this card. If you do, draw 1 card. And if the last counter has been removed by this effect, send this card to the graveyard. So basically, a War Rock monster must destroy another opponent's monster by battle to proc its effect to draw 1 card. Yes, this gets you to dig deeper into your deck. Sure, but you can only control 1, so you can't control multiple, which sucks. I mean, it's a hard once per turn. No, it's not a hard once per turn. What am I saying? Maybe if you're able to control multiple of these at the same time, it might be okay. Kind of with like, what's that card called? I forgot what it's called, but it's like when a opponent's monster... When one of your monsters is destroyed and sent to the graveyard, you can draw 1 card. That's not once per turn. You control multiple, you can draw 3 instead too. Yeah, so maybe if you're able to control more than 1, maybe this card would be good. But the fact that you can only control 1, and then a War Rock monster must destroy another opponent's monster by battle, and send it to the graveyard. So let's say Macrocosmos is on the field, it gets banished instead, then you don't get that effect either. So which is kind of really, again, it's just more of the battle phase stuff. Again, it's just not as good right now. So that's it for the War Rock cards. There is one more generic warrior support, which is called Reinforcement of the Army's Troops. This is a retrained of Reinforcement of the Army, of course, which that card is limited to 1. So let's see what this can do. When an attack is declared, when an attack is declared involving your warrior monster, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower warrior monster from your hand. You can only use this effect once per turn. Maybe if it was special summon from the deck, it could be good, but again, more of just that battle-oriented thing. Again, I don't know if that's really good. So that's it for the cards. Now let's get into my opinions, which I've been kind of showing, but let's fully get into those opinions. Is the War Rock archetype good? No. And like I was explaining in the War Rock effect explanation, the fact that it's battle-oriented, or like its effects only happen during like battles and stuff like that, is the reason why this is not a good archetype. It's right now in the current archetype, or current meta, you have to basically, everything gets destroyed before the battle phase even happens. It's more like when you enter your battle phase, you usually do directed damage and do damage that way. And usually during your main phase, you get rid of cards on your opponent's field to then do that direct attack. War Rock, on the other hand, you have to destroy monsters by battle and must also have to battle as well to get its effects off and stuff. And it's just, I don't know, it's not that good to have a battle-oriented deck in this today's current meta. And then there's also a thing is their effects are way too balanced. Like I said in the effects, their effects being like, if this card is sent to graveyard by an opponent's card effect, then you can proc its bottom effect to special summon. If that was just like, if it's just sent to graveyard, hell yeah, and then you get to special summon, amazing. And then War Rock Bathiolos, it's affecting graveyard. If a War Rock monster is destroyed by battle and sent to graveyard, you can special summon this card. Again, with that much limitation, you're not really going to see that much. But if it did say if a War Rock monster is sent to the graveyard, then you can special summon this card. Then that would be pretty good as well. The current meta, or the reason why it wouldn't be a meta deck, is because in the meta, your deck has to have some overpowered stuff. Think about it. Drytrons have Herald of Ultimates not being once per turn, and Natasha just abusing and taking control of monsters non-once per turn, and then Ben 10 not being once per turn either. That's why it's one of the top meta decks right now. Virtual World, just VFD, just shutting down your opponent is pretty fucking powerful. Eldritch can pull out Dragoon. Its effect, trap cards are just basically one of the best cards right now for the deck, and Eldritch can take advantage of it. So it's just like, this archetype is just way too balanced, and that it's just way too balanced, and that's why it's not going to see meta play. Because the meta, you have to have some overpowered cards for your deck to actually see meta play. So yeah, there's really just nothing else I can say about that. It's just way too balanced for its own good. Now, this is the initial support. Maybe later on in the future, Lightning Overdrive brings some pretty amazing effects to War Rocks. Then maybe it can be good, but those cards must be very, very good, because the initial support is not good. But they are getting more support, though. Which we'll have to see if it's good or not, if it's more battle-oriented like this, or maybe it's just better effects too. So yeah, I hope you guys did enjoy the video. If you did, leave a like and subscribe for more. Yeah, I'll be uploading every day now. I know it's going to be hard. Card analysis is one of my top decks. I would like to, or top series on the channel. I would like to thank you all for watching the video. But without further ado, I'll see you guys in the next one. Goodbye.